I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Panthers edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. Corey Hall stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In the mile-high city of Denver, we had the Broncos walk away with a 6-point victory. LaDainian Tomlinson ran to pay dirt 3 times and helped his Chargers beat the Texans. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Well, trades aren't quite as common in the NFL nowadays as they are in other sports, certainly. But we've got news to report to you on the trading front nonetheless. Jason Fisk leaves the Chargers and heads to the Bills. He'll take with him a draft pick, a 3rd rounder. And just his presence in the middle of that defensive line should be a big plus for their run defense. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Josh Reed is just one of those guys you love to have on your team. He'll be an immediate factor for his new mates.
Over at the Cleveland Browns Stadium, we had the Browns come away with a decisive 10-point win. Cowboys, Vikings. Dante Culpepper calling signals at his own 40-yard line. Rolls, then fires a slant. Look at him go. He could go all the way. 60-yard score. The Vikings go on to win this by the final score of 21-10. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Lance Schulters will be on the sidelines for a while, so this defense will need to do some reshuffling in his absence. Notes from the team doctors said it's a broken thigh bone, and that he'll likely be out for 6 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list, and as you can see, they could form their own mash unit. Aeneas Williams will be on the sidelines for a while, so this defense will need to do some reshuffling in his absence. He's suffering from a pulled calf muscle, and that'll keep him out for 5 weeks. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. This guy will watch the remainder of the season from the sideline as he is done for the year. Now the big story of the day. Matt Burke is going to be watching from the sidelines for a while, as his injury will deal a major blow to this team. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
The Patriots got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Gillette Stadium. The Rams won at home but will take to the road next week to meet the Falcons. Jesse Chapman stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In upstate New York, Buffalo, we had the Bills get squeezed out by 4 points. Giants, Eagles. Corral General Buckhalter is inside his own 20. Gets the handoff, goes off right tackle. The defense must have been fast asleep. The midfield, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, 82 yards. The Eagles win this one by the final score of 25-21. Ace, Deuce, and plenty of use McAllister rushed for 2 touchdowns and helped his Saints beat the Seahawks. Down at Pro Player Stadium, we had the Dolphins lose by just a single point. The Buccaneers defense held their opponents to under 100 rushing yards in their win at Raleigh, Maryland. The Jets won at home but will take to the road next week to meet the Chargers. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Jeremiah Trotter is on the move, as you see, as he accepts a pretty good offer to leave his current club. 4 years, $9.8 million. Jerome Bettis will also be locked up for a while as he signs a healthy 6-year contract with the Titans. Chad Bradsky will have a new place to call home as he accepts a new contract. 5 years, $8.5 million. Darren Howard will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Falcons.
Lions, Bears. Thomas Jones is backed up in his own territory, tries to bounce outside. He'll have the first down, shakes another tackle, goes down the sidelines. Wait a minute. Yes, the ref said his feet were in. He could go all the way, 73 yards. The Bears go on to win this by the final score of 10-3. So, as usual, plenty of surprises around the NFL. And heck, we just got into week 1. My primetime players' game balls go out to these gentlemen, each one with a fine start to the season. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studio. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.